Hi, it's Dan with Wednesday Wisdom coming to you from my library with an interesting book report that reminds us that we can actually find truths in every book that are actually not part of the manuscript. Let us remember that the goal in reading any book is not to walk away focused on who is right, another self-proclaimed guru or research scientist, but to always evaluate it against real whole truth so that we always focus in on what's right. My example is Jim Collins, who is an amazing Stanford University professor who wrote the book Built to Last and obviously brought forth a very famous book called Good to Great, which was published way back in 2001. But what we understand now, looking back in retrospect, is that within 9 years after publication, 50% of Collins's examples of organizations that made that leap from good to great were obsolete, bankrupt, never to be found again. Why? It's because what he teaches us that is not included in the pages is that great is not always good enough, and best is only relevant depending on what you compare it against. Where is Circuit City? Replaced by Best Buy, who currently, as of 2021, owns over 55% of the market share. Collins highlighted Nokia as the sexiest, most amazing connectivity company on the planet. And within 9 years, and currently it limps fourth place behind Apple, behind Google's Android, and obviously the resurgence of Samsung. Where's Borders and Blockbuster, replaced by Netflix and Amazon? Where's Kodak? Where in the world is Fannie Mae, who single-handedly brought down the entire universal economy? Wow. What happened is that Collins' team obviously identified organizations who had dominated their industry and space for 15 years in a row. And what they asked themselves is, what did these organizations all have in common? But what they failed to do is go back and ask, are there any other organizations who possess these exact same attributes, attitudes, and qualities that did not make the leap from good to great? Yes, Good to Great teaches us magnificent things about, get a bus, get the right people on the bus, and make sure they're sitting in the right seats, doing the right jobs, playing the right positions. And what he teaches us is that the executive and leadership team should not be ego-driven. We must focus in on hiring the right people, never allow ourselves to get complacent, champion our value proposition, and embrace constant change. But that's the entire book. It should have been called Good to Successful. What about the art of significance, where we don't just get what we think we want, but we want what we get, so we don't die with our dreams, our goals inside of us, and actually fall by the wayside in bankruptcy and obscurity? Well, what we learn that is not included in this book is that successful organizations possess positive attributes, specific positive attributes. But when they also possess the same cancerous qualities and convoluted mindsets that unsuccessful organizations possess, they too will go bankrupt and fall by the wayside. So the last challenge in this Wednesday Wisdom is to keep reading one book a week for as many years in a row and as many weeks in a row as you can possibly dedicate yourself to. But as you click off that reading light, ask yourself, what principles, what truths are you also learning that are not included in the manuscript that can make that book even more valuable as you remind yourself it's not about comparative analysis about who is right. It must always be about what's right, so we embrace whole truth. We cut through the fake news and the faddish principles and organizational ideas that are presented to us daily, and focus in on truly what is true yesterday, today, and forever. In that process, we will all become great.